Hi, I'm the Moroccan Angel, and I'm here to help others set things right with their Maker. Hi, I'm Meeka. Thank you for joining me today. I ask that you bear with me. I have been feeling a bit under the weather. My voice is coming back slowly but surely. Now, some of the information I'm presenting to you is taken from my book titled Who is Jesus? It's a biblically aligned academic study concerning the identity and origin of Jesus. Now, this book was written basically for two types of people: those who are in pursuit, desperate pursuit, of the untainted truth regarding the origins of Christian religion in terms of its originator, Jesus. And the second type of person are those who are considering the Christian faith and you'd like to know, at the very least, the basic scriptures concerning who Jesus was and where he came from according to the New Testament scriptures. So let's get this on the table. It's basically false professing Christians that don't know the biblical truth of the scriptures concerning the details surrounding Jesus' identity and his message. Now, if you just pause, just just slow it down and just think. There are some really clear scriptures that point these individuals out, unquestionably. The ones that are professing to be Christians, but actually not. Now, being a good speaker does not verify that you have the genuine indwelling Spirit of Jesus. And so many individuals are convinced to come to the Christian faith because of a compelling speech. This is unscriptural. And the core of this mass deception is that many of these individuals who claim to be Christians have actually never met or had an encounter with Jesus. They're not biblically reborn. It can be seen very clearly, without doubt, to the trained eye. They're literally claiming to be something that they're not, and that's defined as a hypocrite. And most just continue in this blind state of denial. I mean, who wants to face something like this? It's harder to face a bitter truth that what you've been believing for the past year or 15, 20, 50 years is possibly a lie. And come on, this is life. It happens because we're all humans. None of us are omniscient. There is only one who is omniscient, and that's the Creator. The Creator being the one who created man and woman, the giver of all life, the God of Noah, the God of Abraham, Moses, the God of Israel, and in the Christian book, the God of Jesus. You'd be surprised how many quote-unquote professing Christians don't even know who the God of Israel is. Now, I'm sure if you can just look around, and you'll hear that many, if not all, professing Christians are claiming that Jesus is God. So let's consider this. One of the questions that must be answered is, which God? Who are they claiming or declaring Jesus to be? Which God are they declaring Jesus to be exactly? Well, in the New Testament writings, we become aware that Jesus was a devout worshiper and servant of the God of Israel. As it is claimed, he was sinless, meaning he loyally and faithfully kept the laws and commandments of the God of Israel, written and established in the original Testament. Sin, of course, is the violation of the laws and commandments of the God of Israel. One act, one violation, a single violation, or an act of rebellion against his laws and order. A violation is a violation. Now, to obey the commands, guidance, or leadership of another, in basic common sense terms, places you in a position that is subservient to them. As a master or a lord, it is a state or position of subordination, which makes sense because Jesus himself declared that he was the servant of the God of Israel. Now, please be aware that this is This is basic information. So if you're having difficulty understanding this and you're claiming to be a Christian, your claim is false because Jesus declared that upon the true indwelling of his Spirit, there would be a supernatural awareness and knowledge of things, specifically through the true presence of Jesus' Spirit alone. Because something happened when Jesus died and resurrected. So if you have gaps in your understanding of Jesus' teachings or his presence or his supernatural power, or if what I'm saying to you sounds foreign, I can guarantee you, biblically guarantee, that you do not have the genuine indwelling Spirit of Jesus. And if you'd like to walk through the scriptures with me and just understand the true teachings of Jesus and how this all works, please schedule a coaching call or a consultation with me. So this awareness, this knowing, Jesus was documented as knowing some interesting things. He saw Nathanael sitting under the tree. He knew at moments what the Pharisees were thinking and called them out on a number of occasions. He understood and called out a situation with a woman at the well. However, one thing is made very, very clear. Even though Jesus had some remarkable prophetic abilities, let's be clear about something. It was nowhere near or comparable to that of the God of Israel. You see, Jesus was not omniscient, and this is the part where you really want to pay attention to the sound of my voice. Omniscience is defined as having total knowledge, infinite. It's infinite knowledge, to be all-knowing. Just an important note. This is an extremely important piece of information. Omniscience is one of the major attributes that is exclusive to a God. And so just a little side note. If your quote-unquote God that you're serving or worshiping is not omniscient and you're worshiping a being that is not all-knowing, this should be quite concerning. Seriously. Think of the implications of this. This is clear that you're not getting the best deal. I mean, can you imagine you're praying to a quote-unquote God or a being that you have falsely identified as a God, because a God, a true God, must have these three defining attributes: omniscience, omnipotence, and immortality. So why don't you pray to your father or your mother, your wife or your sister or your brother? Because they're not actually gods. They're not omniscient, they're not omnipotent, and they're not immortal. Everyone who is not omniscient is at the mercy or subjected to the one who is. So let's just look at this. In Isaiah chapter 46, verse 10, it is documented that the God of Israel declared that he declares the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, "My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure." The God of Israel throughout the original Testament is understood to be omniscient. Jesus, however, is not. Jesus acknowledged that he does not know everything on more than one occasion. And as I mentioned earlier, the biblical references in further detail and explanation are noted within my book, Who is Jesus? So how does this information disprove the false Christian claim that Jesus is God? Two ways. One, the God of Israel is omniscient. Jesus was not. Now, for those quote unquote Christians who are like, well, it was his human side, the God man, not the divine side. Hear me clearly. Various Christian teachings instruct new converts that Jesus is the God of Israel. But upon becoming human, he experienced the physical and intellectual restrictions known to man, and thereby unable to express his divine intellect, awareness, and nature. This only confirms that Jesus was not quote unquote fully divine, nor fully quote unquote God. He cannot be fully God with impaired intellect and judgment or limited power, for these are the definitive components that distinctly separate the God of Israel from men. Hear me. Changing one's form, especially when we're talking about the Creator, as the Christians are trying to paint this, changing one's form does not constitute impaired intellect, judgment, or ability. It's the idea of changing the outward structure or appearance, because they say that he came or changed his appearance to be in human form. But this does not involve the restructuring of the conscience, the intellect, or the ability of the spirit. Shall it be said that upon becoming human, the Creator forgot the times and seasons that he alone set in order? Shall it be said that his knowledge is now restricted or limited, and he is not or no longer omniscient or omnipotent or immortal? This is alarmingly concerning, and the implications of this are absolutely disastrous. The second most important aspect in all of this, that is often overlooked by so many, is that when you look on social media and you sit in the churches and you go to these events and you hear these debates as the Christians are vainly arguing and trying to prove this. Is Jesus God? Did he directly declare to be God? And as we clarified, we're referencing the God of Israel. Scrambling about they are. Did Jesus declare to be God? Ooh, see? He declared, I am. Well, so did Jay-Z, or more accurately, Sean Carter and David Koresh and Morgan Freeman, who are all mere men. You see, the Christians got it backwards. The question was never, did Jesus claim to be the God of Israel? No. The question from the Almighty One to you is, did he ever claim to be Jesus? You see, Jesus declared within the New Testament scriptures that the servant is not above his master, and he that is sent is not greater than he that sent him. So you see, what the God of Israel declared 4,000 years ago concerning himself by far supersedes the testimonies of those men who wrote the New Testament scriptures 2,000 years later. And the first account of Jesus, written nearly 70 years after his death. Come now, this is basic common sense. Who sent Jesus? The God of Israel. Well, what did he say 4,000 years ago, before Jesus even existed? I'm the Moroccan angel. Do what is right, always. It matters.